friends. It's been quite a week, and I'm excited to show you a way that I've been painting in this last week that's really helped. Just kind of help me with that self care, the frustrations in life that come and go. And we all need something that is tried and true that's going to get us to that happy space. Right now, I wanted to showcase this palette as I'm painting with you today. It's 88 colors, it's by Lightwish, and I did not think that I would like it. And so I'm showing it to you today as we chat and do these florals together. These are a couple pieces that I created beforehand, one layer and then also two layers just to, enjoy the differences. So as you sit down to paint with me, just have a variety of brushes, have your paints, your water, and all the things, and just get yourself into a good mindset. The whole point of this video is to tell you guys one thing. But before I tell you, I want to share that it's just been a complicated and very stressful last couple of weeks. And I've had to turn often to art to get me through it. But boy, does it help. Here I'm setting up my sketchbook because I want to do a little bit of, some swatching first. I want to show you guys the colors and what it can do. And here what I like to do is I swirl my brush around that's wet, and then I add that color. Then I clean off my brush and I spread it out so that you can start to see the differences of value, how dark that paint could be, and then how light it can get when you add water. But this is just going to be a fun little practice. I encourage you to do it. It's going to look like an amazing piece of art, and you're going to learn a lot about your values of your colors. So essentially, you can see this activity as a learning experience as well as a fun way to just create lighthearted, easygoing, stress-free art that doesn't have an expectation. And that kind of brings me as we go to the next step, which is our project, to this idea of the thing that I want to tell you. As I'm grabbing some yellow and putting my centers down for my florals, I need to tell you guys that I have decided that I am giving up. And I know it sounds extreme, and what does that mean? And this is kind of clickbaity and all the things. But like I said, it's been a very stressful couple of weeks. And without getting into those details at all, art has been one of the things that's really helped me get through the stressors. As I'm painting these really dark petals here, and then I'm going to dip my brush, take off some of the paint, and start to lighten those petals to create those beautiful values. I'm trying to stay in touch with how I'm feeling. Sometimes I like to put music on and just escape into that music just for that solace where my brain can shut down and just be and just enjoy this process of creating art. But I'm giving up, guys. I'm not giving up on art. I'm not giving up on life. Certainly not giving up on people. But I decided I have to give up a few things to be able to enjoy more things. And so one of the things in life that we hold on so tightly to is this idea of things turning out exactly how we want. We want things to be perfect. We want things, our relationships and our jobs and our families to be this emblem of perfection, but that is not reality. And so we hold on to this concept of what we want things to be like. And when life hits us with shocking moments, it sets us into a lot of harsh emotions that are hard to deal with. We need to deal with them. But at a certain point, we also have to let go of the things that we cannot control. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm giving up this concept of needing to control, but it's going to be hard. We'll get back to that in a second, but I want to go zoom into the process of what we're doing here. So I've added some beautiful big blooms. You can call them what you want. And then I'm putting in these really loose roses. Guys, you can see I work really fast. I'm using a large, not normally angled brush, which is giving me the sense of creativity. I'm going in really dark and sketching in rough center and then lightening it up, taking off some paint, and then adding in these little wonky petals. Just moving the brush around. I really don't like a rose that has these concentric half circles that are perfect in shape. I just like them to be wonky and the idea of that rose. And so when you add different values, it creates some lovely shadows. I'm adding in some smaller flowers now, and I'm trying to be aware of using a lot of the colors on this palette so that they can really pop and contrast each other, adding in another really loose rose. So with a watercolor, especially when it comes to a rose, this one here wasn't super pleased about how it turned out, but I have to remind myself that I can't control that. I can't control how the water is flowing. I can try, and I have a certain level of water control, but at the end of the day, sometimes my hand doesn't do what my brain wants it to do, or sometimes I've got too much water in my brush and it starts to flow everywhere. And so when we are talking about life, when we're talking about our painting, whatever it is, if there's something that you can control, you can change, then do it. But if there's something that you cannot control or change, you need to be able to truly relax and be happy. It's important to try to let go of expecting, because when we expect something and then it doesn't happen, we end up feeling frustrated and angry. We hold on to that and it sucks the joy out of life. This is why right here, guys, as I'm adding in my different greens, and now I'm adding in that second layer for these florals to create some shadows and texture. I'm trying to let go of what I think I want it to be. And this fluorescent, guys, I did not think I would like the fluorescents on this palette, but they really surprised me. They created this extra bright intensity that I wasn't expecting, and it just really made me happy. I mean, look at what's going on there. That fluorescent pink is just making me smile from ear to ear. As I'm darkening up my purple here and creating some contrast, these florals are quick. They're fairly easy. I know they probably don't feel easy, but it's something that you practice over time. And you can't control everything about your painting. You can't control everything about your life. But what you can have change over, do that. Utilize that and focus on that. Right here, that rose, that first layer was wonky. I didn't like it, but I added in some fluorescent pinks and I ended up liking it a lot more. Adding in a little bit of splatter here to create some beautiful marks, some enjoyment with a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of contrast to some of the other colors on the palette. I even decided here to add in some pink to my gold flower, because why not? Just throw caution to the wind, guys. The biggest thing I want you to remember and learn is to enjoy the moment. If you guys are liking this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn more with me, I do have one-on-one sessions available linked in my description where we can go over basics or florals or landscapes together and enjoy that process. But the bottom line, guys, paint for you, paint for your mental health, paint for enjoyment, paint for the process, not just the end result. And you will smile like I'm smiling right here, because life is really beautiful.